Dear friends, in this next video, we have selected here, we cannot select the two values. Then beacon and the value is not selected, then how the value is overcome this value. Now, two checkbox value is here. For example, these both are the checkbox, both the value is okay for that. Now you check here the condition. If J1 is true, for example, I'm writing here, if J1 equal to true, if J2 equal to true, if both the value true, then comfortable both location. For example, if first value here is BK selected, then we cannot select the Andy. In the second criteria, if J1 value equal to false, if J2 value equal to false, no selected value. Otherwise else at the last situation Andy selected, or Andy selected. A comfortable both the location BK selected, Andy selected. You can see here Andy selected value. So this is called a checkbox. You can create your own any if condition here, own if condition with this value here. So make sure that this one value with using of Andy and BK value, you can using in the both the way Andy and BK. So if you want to use this Andy or BK value, we want to select the particular value. On the basis of selected value, we can select any of this value. Now, if I want to create a, for example, what is the difference between insert button, this option button and this option button? Both are very different. If you are using this option button, you can create a multiple option button with the same condition it will be used. It means that same situation you have a create a multiple option button. At that time you have to create a multiple options button. Only one situation you have selected. For example, if I am select here, this is first option button, insert this option button here, this is second option button, right? So now what was the difference between form control and Activex control? We have want to clear it in these positions. For example, here we will add it text and here we will select the male and here we will write down the female, for example, right? Now if male and if female, both the value will be work only one value simultaneously. At that time this option button is working. So we want to go for this text and particular go for the form control and check that value is in J1 and okay. If you are selected here, this is value J1 first value. If you are selected this value, then J2 value. Now I am selected here this option button. This is also called as option button Activex control. option button, and here we will write down edit text. And here we will write down second one. If the second one, we will write down the value here. Now, here is right click and property option is available. This is object property. Here we will link up cell from H1. This is the link up cell. I will write down H1 here. So if I'm selecting this value, now I'm select this one value for the design mode, right click and properties. Here we will write down I1. Now you can check here, this is first one true, second false. So both the option button working at a different part. Here both the option button working as the same part. So if you are selected only one value, for example first value, otherwise second value, then you can use this option button. And both the option button is in different places, in a different parameter, then you can use this one value. You can select one or two, but in a different situation, different condition. So I want to create a two different options button, all this one. Here we will create the option button, but individually we cannot create the option button on all the employees. Here we will create the option button. From different option button, we will create a different employee. So at that time, option button is more usable. Now, we want to create this value. This is a, you can know about that. This value is not reflected in the cell. This object is, this is one type of picture you can see here. For example, here is a property. Here is a different alignment. Alignment is right. Then we want to change this color also, system color, or we want to use this color also. Height, width, pictures positions. If I am saying this pictures positions is a, if you want to use any pictures, if the pictures is in center, this is pictures, you can set the pictures. You cannot set a particular, if you want to select the particular positions is center, bottom, top, right, left, top, you can use this laptop value pictures positions. If you want to use the center, this is position is in center. If the pictures is big, then you can see here. Then this is a shadow is false if it is true. So shadow file, this is coming from the shadow file also. Shadow image, you can use this image, and you can use this option button in different positions. Here you can select the option button one. Back color is particular, you can set the back color. So dynamically, if you want to create anything in Excel, then this property, each functionality is very useful. We want created any dynamic part in the Excel. So if you want to create any dynamic part in the Excel, you just want to create this one. You can create not only for VBA, you can create a Excel also. So make sure that all the data is coming from your side. This is if it is visible is true, if I'm visible is false, for example. So you cannot visible this option button. Why we cannot option button visible? In some part, we cannot show the option button. Right? If you want to use the option button, then go for the property, then option button 1 and visible. True. Now, if you are disable this property, you can see this option button with the background image, with background color, with all this functionality. Now, make sure that if you want to use this functionality with using of option button, you can use this option button here also. If you put out this value here, if you want to create some basic personality, basic functionality in the Excel, you want to create this option button also. So using of this option button, we want to select this if Microsoft 2007, if this courses is knows about that, then if this value equal to true, true is a textual part, but this is a Boolean value. So we not converted into the double quotes. Then is salary plus increment this value multiplied by 10%. Otherwise cells same as it is salary. Multiply by 10%, otherwise cells same as it is salary. So you can see here, this is know about the Microsoft Excel, this mode. If you get this value is not true, then if it is false, then you can see here this value is not a particular data. If I am not selected this value, if this value is selected, then this is a individually it will be working. So make sure that if you want to use this value, you have to particularly idea about this link up set and value is true if it is value is false. Right? If value is true, if value is false, if value is true, if value is false, then you want to create this value. On the basis of this value, we exactly create a particular data. And if you want to use this data, you can create a simply option button 1, then go for the properties. Link up cell is for your link up cell is J1. And okay, if this value is true, then you have to know about that. If it is value is false, then you have to know about that. So make sure that if you want to click this value, if this value is clickable, then this value is true, otherwise this value is false. So now, if you want to use this option, right, then if I'm inserting this value, this checkbox is basically work when we have a going from the website at that time, if available, accept this value, accept the terms and condition. If I'm using this accept the terms and condition, if this value is true, then going from the next slide, otherwise it will be not going from the next slide. You have to positions of this value, right? So at that time, accept terms and condition. If this accept this term and condition, if this value is true, then we go for the next slide. Otherwise, else we not go for the next slide. For example, property. If I am using this value from accepting true, then Q1 value is true. If I'm doing this false, then Q1 value is false. Right? At that time, we want to create, if this I'm clicking here true, then if I'm going from the link up cell, if I'm going from this link up cell is true. Right? If it is true, then if you want to use the next slide, next button, you want to go the next window also, then you want to use this. If you want to use the categories, here the categories have a multiple function here, behaviors, pictures, top, weight, background color, behaviors. This all are the other option is also available from your side. So now you have to clear idea why we use the checkbox and why we use the option button. Both are working individually. Option button, it means that first option, second option, we want to select only first option. If you want to use the checkbox, you must be using from checkbox, then you have to go for the next criteria. So this is a basic difference between the checkbox, combo box, and form control and Activex control. Now you have to clear idea in which position we will use the form control, in which position we will use the Activex control. So make sure that when we are using the different control, at that time you have to clearly idea about first one, why we use the form control, why we use the Activex control, because different position we will use the different controller. So we want to use this controller with a different places with different parameter. Clear? Now, if you want to use this parameter, checkbox clear, this value is clear, right? Then now I want to using of all the form control we want to add into the data part. Here is a label. Right click, add it. We want to create a next label. This is called username. This is called password. I'm not using this control. I'm using this one form control. If username available, and here is a not available. First is available, second is not available. Control up arrow key, we can shifting this value from up value. If username is available, if username is not available, right? Then now here is a password available from this one, not available from this value. This is called the value from J1. Both the value will be select from the J1. This is design mode. Design mode is up. So available this value, not available this value. If J1 value equal to 1, then password is 123. If J1 value is 1, then password is 123. If password not available, then it will be blank. Now you can see the clear idea about if password available, it will be clear on available. If it is not, then not available. If this value is available, then password is 123. And you want to write the data. If it is not available, you are select the not available, then the data is blank. So both the places you want to clear the particular idea about this data, available and the not available. You can create the multiple for multiple values, but this is only for basics value. You can create from this one. If the password is available, then a user form is open. If the password is not available, then the user form is not open. You create anything else from your side, but this is only for available and not available option. So you want to create your own visibility value, you can select this value. If this value is 2, and if you want to use the one checkbox also, now you can see here we can select the both the value. If this value equal to 1 and if this value equal to true, if both the condition is followed, then password is 123, otherwise else password is blank. It is not available, value is false. Now you can see here both the criteria is follow, at that time it will display the result. If both the criteria is not follow, at that time it will not clear the result. Now you have a clear idea about the checkbox and option button. Right friends, in the next video we will go for the combo box, text box, all other option. Thank you friends.